Hey Flinders, took a big deep breath then. Welcome to this short series on habits and building a good vibes plan. My name's Gareth. I'm a psychologist working here at Flinders in health counselling and disability services and Oasis. I'm in a mental health promotion role, and essentially that means my goal is to try and reach as many students in the Flinders community as I can and equip them with the knowledge and tools necessary to build, repair and maintain their mental health and look after their minds. Now, if the term good vibes plan doesn't make any sense to you, that's okay. Don't worry, it will do by the end of the series. And in relation to that, there's 3 videos in this series. This is video 1. I've broken them up into 3 because there's quite a bit of content to cover, and I think it helps to break it into some more manageable chunks. Now in this video, video 1, we'll cover the background information on what the Good Vibes plan is, and I'll actually show you the Good Vibes plan that I use in my own life, so you get a feel for what it is. And then in videos 2 and 3, I'll guide you through the process of developing your own Good Vibes plan. And so by the time you get to the end of this series, you'll have started and maybe even made some significant progress along the way in terms of building your own kind of mental health and resilience plan. So, in short, what is a Good Vibes plan? Well, this is the description I'm using, which kind of captures as many of the important elements as I can. It's essentially a description of the activities that I will engage in to improve and grow the areas of mental health that are important to me, with consideration for how I'm going to get myself to engage in those activities in an ongoing way, and also approached from a perspective of growth and experimentation, kindness and fun. So you see there's quite a bit just in that definition, and it relates to what really needs to be in a mental health and resilience plan for it to have both meaning and impact in our life. So we need to know what it is we're working on, what aspects of our mental health we're working on. We need to know what activities we're going to use in order to make progress in those areas. We need to think about how we're going to get those activities embedded into our everyday life, because I've experienced, I'm sure you've experienced, we can have good intentions, we can be really keen and ready to make a change to our life, but then find it actually hard to make the change itself, to take action. And then the fourth component is the attitude and kind of mindset that we bring to this process. And as it will come clear over the course of this series, what we're encouraging you to do is bring a sort of experimental, a playful, a kind of kind and fun angle to this, even though the topic matter is quite serious. So the concept of a Good Vibes plan comes out of 2 programs, two wellbeing and resilience and mental health programs that we have here at Flinders. So you might have encountered these at some point in time already. So the first is the Good Vibes Experiment. So the Good Vibes Experiment is a student-led campaign that was launched here at Flinders in 2021. It encourages individuals to add positive emotion-inducing activities into their everyday life. So at the core of Good Vibes is the idea that we build our mental health through the addition of growth activities. Now, the campaign highlights 20 wellbeing tactics. These are domains of action that are linked to improve mental health. Sum up on the slide there. So it includes things like gratitude, having fun, facing your fears, self-understanding, building a healthy lifestyle, spending time in nature. And then on top of these wellbeing tactics, we build activities that give you a chance to play with that tactic in some way, shape or form, to have a go at it, to experience what it might be like to do something in that space. Now, although GVE was kind of grounded and is grounded in quite a serious science, so the science of wellbeing, the science of mental health, GVE actually encourages a really strong sense of play and fun and experimentation in finding the activities that are going to move you in the direction that you want to go, right? So the idea is that all of us would be attracted to different kinds of activities. Different things are going to work for different people. So let's be a little bit experimental and playful in working out what's going to be right for us. Now, the primary product of the Good Vibes Experiment campaign is the activity book. This is the purple one up on the screen, but you may have also seen a green one floating around as well. In the book, you'll find those activities. There's 40 plus activities in the book, built on top of those 20 wellbeing tactics that give you a chance to start playing with them, give you a chance to start having some fun, but also considering whether some of these concepts have greater value and meaning to you, and whether you should be looking at embedding them in your everyday life in some way, shape, or form. You'll also see, as part of the campaigns, various merch and stuff, pins and t-shirts and posters around that really just remind you that this is an ongoing process, that thinking about what activities bring and improve your mental health is something that we should all be doing in some way, in an ongoing way. And the campaign elements around the university help remind us of that. So the second program that's been really influential in terms of this notion of building a good vibes plan is the Be Well plan. So the Be Well plan is a mental health and resilience training program. It was developed in collaboration between the Wellbeing and Resilience Centre at SAMRI and the College of Education, Psychology and Social Work here at Flinders. It's offered free for Flinders students. I'll put details on how to access it in the description below. But it's a workshop or a series of workshops in which you'll dig in further to the science of wellbeing and mental health. So you'll learn what mental health is, you'll learn what activities improve it, how to pick which activities are going to work best for you, and then how to embed those activities in your everyday life. And the idea is that you finish the program not only with an understanding of how to build a mental health and resilience plan, but having actually had the opportunity to build one as part of the workshop. Right? So you finish the workshop with a plan and the knowledge on how to take that plan forward and modify and change it as needed. And so if you pull those two together, Good Vibes Experiment plus Be Well plan, not surprisingly, you get the Good Vibes plan. Now, a metaphor that might be helpful in understanding the concept of a Good Vibes plan and its importance in your everyday life is that of starting a physical exercise program. So I just want to take a quick detour to kind of discuss that and then come back to this notion of a Good Vibes plan. So many of us have decided at some point to work on our physical fitness, to get more exercise, to get fit, to get in shape, whatever kind of term you want to use. And we do that because we know that physical activity is good for us. It can counter the modern sedentary life, and it also has a bunch of other benefits attached to it. So it does have health benefits. It also has mental health benefits, but it can have social benefits as well if we're playing team sports and things like that. So many of us at some point in time have made a decision to work on our physical fitness. Some of us, having made that decision, then decide that we're going to get fit by joining a gym. And a quick shout out to Flinders Sports and Fitness. I'll put their details in the description below as well. Now, many gym packages involve an assessment by a personal trainer at the beginning. So might spend an hour with that trainer. They'll run a series of tests. They'll get you to do a bunch of different exercises. They might grab the flab. And on the basis of that assessment, they'll outline an exercise plan. And the exercise plan will be kind of matched to where they think you could make improvements. So if strength is lacking, there might be some resistance training in there. If flexibility is an issue, there might be some yoga or Pilates. If your cardiovascular fitness is lacking, they might recommend pump classes or riding a bike or swimming or running. And if they're a good trainer, they'll give you some choice in the process. Like they'll take your preferences into consideration. So as far as resistance training, you might want to do classic weights or CrossFit-y type stuff. In terms of cardiovascular, you might decide that you would prefer to do swimming versus running or something like that. And then the trainer will typically provide us with some instruction on then how to do the activities. So what we end up with at the end of the assessment is a plan to help us build those areas of physical fitness that are lacking, using activities that we like and that we're interested in, and clear instructions on how to do it. And then our job is to follow through on doing it and turn that exercise program into a regular habit, because we know we'll only get the benefits of it if we're doing it in an ongoing way. And so we can take this concept of building a physical exercise plan or a gym plan, we can apply that idea to our mental health as well. And we know that we can, with the help of knowledgeable guides, so that's like myself and other mental health professionals and other like resources that you'll access over the way. We can find activities that resonate with us, that have been shown to help people improve their mental health, that are going to progress us forward in the psychological domains that are of importance to us. And we're going to get a chance to play with and experiment with getting those embedded into our daily, weekly, and monthly schedules. And so that's really what we're talking about with a good vibes plan. It's almost like you're seeing a personal trainer, but it's a personal trainer for the mind. And they're giving you a bit of a plan, and that plan is going to help you improve in the areas that are of value and relevance to you. So, before or to finish up with this video, I thought I'd give you a look at what a good vibes plan might look like. And in this case, I'm using my plan. So yes, I do have a plan for myself. I think it would be a bit hypocritical if I didn't have a plan. You'll see that it's quite simple. My plan can fit on the one slide, but it is worth keeping in mind that this plan has been developed over a number of years, and is obviously helped by the fact that this is an area or a topic of interest to me. So it might not be as easy for you in the first stages to kind of get something down as concisely and precisely as this, but it gives you a sense of kind of what you're working towards. And also hopefully alleviates any anxiety you have about a kind of a good vibes plan or a mental health plan having to be some kind of massive document or some super detailed analysis of your life. This is something that you can put together in an hour or so, and then modify over time as needed. And that's what we'll do in videos 2 and 3. So you'll notice that my plan hits those key areas that we talked about before in the definition. So it outlines the areas of mental health that I'm working on. So for me, particularly at the moment, this is about mentally healthy lifestyle choices, about self-understanding, meaning and purpose, creative expression, and emotional intelligence. And we'll talk about what those mean in the future videos. It outlines the activities that I am putting in place in my life to try and progress each of those domains. So over the course of a day or a week or a month, the intention for me is to get yoga, early morning sunlight exposure, some form of meditation, contemplative practice, healthy diet, art and music, use of a standing desk, and weight training into my schedule. That's a reasonable chunk of things, and certainly don't think that I get all of those in every day. Rather, I see that over the course of a week or over the course of a month that I want to be doing those at least semi-regularly. And the combination of those things kind of working in harmony together push me forward in the domains that are of interest to me. The third part that's in there that you'll see is that there are some strategies that I use to improve my compliance with the plan. So regardless of my training, regardless of the fact that I talk about this stuff on a regular basis, I am just as prone as the next person to not translating my intentions into actions, right? I might intend to have a contemplative practice, but then when I try and put it in place, it falls aside, or I'm not successful. I might intend to have and set up a good exercise program, but then don't necessarily follow through on it. And I'm just as susceptible to those effects as the next person. So I've got specific strategies that I've developed over time to kind of improve the likelihood that I'll do this on an ongoing basis. There's 3 core ones. One is I like to try and develop rituals, kind of key moments during the day where I follow a little pattern of behavior that has meaning for me. So I have a morning ritual, I have a pre-work ritual, and I'm working on at the moment having a kind of a late afternoon pre-dinner ritual in which I build these elements into those rituals. So these are times of the day where I follow a particular kind of pattern of behavior or string of behaviors that has some meaning to me, and that I do mindfully and deliberately. The second thing that I do is I track my habits. So you can see a picture there on the bottom. I've got a very simple habit tracking system that I use. It's really just a tick box system, and I document over the course of a week and a month whether I'm engaging in the things that I want to engage in, and I can see where I'm going well and where I'm not going so well. And then I also work more broadly on my time management. So I think about how my days are structured. I think about when I need to get my work done. I think about when I need to set aside time for family and friends and social, when I need to set a time for rest, and then when I need to set aside time in order to engage in the rituals that I've got. And probably those three kind of core strategies are what contributes to me doing reasonably well with my Good Vibes plan at this stage. And then the fourth component is the attitude that I try to bring to this process. I have a tendency towards, and we see this a lot in students, we see this a lot in anyone who's kind of gone through significant academic study. People set very high standards for themselves and become quite self-critical if they don't reach them. So in the early days of developing habits, I set very high standards for how often I should be engaging in these things, and strict rules about I should never, fail to or not follow through on one of these. Over time, though, I've really tried to shift my attitude in that respect. So I really focus on what we call realistic optimism, which is I'm hopeful that I will be able to make positive improvements, but I'll realise that it will be a bit of a bumpy journey along the way. I really try to focus on a notion of taking a trial and error approach, sort of an experimental approach. I'll make a change, see if it works. If it does, keep it. If it doesn't, move on to the next thing. And I've also tried to relax my standards as well, so not expect that I do weight training every day or meditate every day or constantly use my standing desk like I am now. Like actually dial the standards back a bit to something that's more achievable and which you don't use to punish yourself along the way. So, we've talked about what a Good Vibes plan is. I've given you a bit of a history on the two mental health training programs from which the Good Vibes plan idea comes from, and given you a quick kind of overview of what my Good Vibes plan looks like at this stage. And so that brings us to the end of video 1. In the next video, video 2, we'll actually start kicking off the process of you developing your own plan. Now, in the meantime, what I recommend is that so before watching video 2, you might go and watch it straight away, but you also might take a little bit of time between now and video 2. If you take some time between now and video 2, just want you to reflect on the extent to which you might already have activities embedded into your everyday life that benefit your mental health. And if you do have some that you do because they improve your mental health, this is a good time to maybe recommit to those. And if they've been flagging or lagging a little bit, put some things in place to kind of maybe boost them up again. And if you reflect on your life and realize, well, I don't really have anything that I do on a regular and deliberate basis to improve my mental health, then the timing of this series is very good. Because in videos 2 and 3, I'll show you how to develop some of those. So look, I'll see you in the next video. Take care until then, and see you soon.